and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ellie and today's video is going to be my last book haul of 2025. This may look like a crazy big book haul, and every time I try and film a video there is some kind of noise outside, but we're just going to keep going because this video is going to take me ages. But yes, this book haul consists of books that I received for Christmas, books that I picked up from YALC because I never actually ended up posting my YALC vlog, books that I bought with my birthday money, books that I picked up with Christmas money, books I've been sent by publishers, and books from subscription boxes. So this is a very collective haul. I'm going to wait for the bin lorry to finish and then I will get started. I'm going to start off with the books that I got for Christmas because that is the closest pile. So a couple of them are box sets, so I'm just going to do them all in one go. But I got this set from the YALC that are all by Candy Steiner. This is the Kings of the Ice series. So we have Meet Your Match, Watch Your Mouth, Learn Your Lesson, and Save Your Breath. So these are a series of hockey romances. I've read a lot of football romances by Candy Steiner, but I've never actually read any of her hockey romances, so I'm really excited to dive into these. And then the second box set that you can get in the YALC is the Sugar Lake series by Emily McIntyre. I love the covers of this one. So we have Beneath the Surface, I think I'm showing this series back to front, Beneath the Hood, Beneath the Stars, Beneath the Stands and Beneath the Stars. I really love Emily McIntyre's books and I love to support her as her journey of cancer hits kind of close to home, so I love to support her in any way I can, and these are just such gorgeous covers. I'm obsessed. These are small town romances. So we have A Second Chance, a basketball romance, an age gap, my favourite. Okay, and then the last one, the male main character is a private investigator who is hired to track down the film main character. That sounds so cool. Then for Christmas, my best friend gave me a copy of Enigma by Runex. This is probably one of my most anticipated books out of this whole haul. I read Gothicana, I think maybe 2 years ago now, and I was obsessed. And I've been really wanting to read something else by this author since, and this is their newest traditionally published book. This is a dark romance where our female main character enrolls at an elite university to find out what happened to her older sister who is missing. Then in the YALC, oh, I'm so excited by these. I finally found Fight by Sloane St. James and Protect by Paisley Hope with the sprayed edges. I would lost hope of finding these, but I went in there on Boxing Day and I found them. I feel bad because I think someone had hidden them, but I found them, so they came home with me. But this is part of a romance series, but each book is written by a different author. Paisley Hope is one of my new all-time favourite authors, and I don't think I've read anything by Sloane St. James, so I'm interested to get into this. But this is the Skyridge Hotshot series. I did see the third book in the series in Waterstones, but it's not yet out in the YALC with the sprayed edge, so I did hold off buying it because I'm going to try my hardest to get the full collection with the sprayed edges. Then another sprayed edge book that I found in Waterstones, I had like £10 voucher from Points, so I picked this up, and that is Your Knife, My Heart by K.M. Morinova, and it has this like sprayed edge with like daggers and lighters on it. I really can't wait to read Does It Leave Me Behind by this author. It is this month's December's Smut and Sip pick, but it has been delayed because of the printer. They weren't happy with the quality of it, so they've sent them all back to be redone, so there is a delay on that and I don't have that yet. So I picked this up to read in the meantime. This is a dark military romance, which I've never read before, so I'm kind of nervous, but I've heard great things about all of this author's books. My brother gave me 2 books for Christmas. The first one being Somewhere Beyond the Sea by TJ Klune. So this is the follow-on from The House in the Cerulean Sea, which I read back in, it was either June or July, and it is one of my favourite books of the year. I absolutely loved it, and I've just been needing to get to the sequel because I just need to know what happens next. It was just such a cozy book, the first one, so I'm definitely going to be saving this one for when I need something that's just going to be light-hearted, cozy, and it's just gonna, like, if I'm in a funk, like, I know this is gonna be a book that's gonna put me in a good mood. So I am saving this one, but I can't wait to get to it. And then the second book that he got me is Air of Blood and Moonlight by Lindsay Sparks. This is book one in a Vampire Why Choose Romance series. He bought this off my Amazon wishlist, and I'm really hoping that he did not read the blurb of this because yeah, it is a spicy why choose. It says 7 immortals and 1 queen, but on the back here it only talks about like 4 guys, so I don't know whether it is just 4 guys and 1 girl, or if in the later books in the series more men are going to be introduced. But I love why chooses. Vampires are my favourite kind of fantasy paranormal character, so I am really interested in this one. And then I was also gifted Daughter of No Worlds and Children of Fallen Gods by Carissa Broadbent. These are part of the War of Lost Hearts duology. I don't know if this is part of the world where it's like loads of duologies which make up a series, so I do need to look into it, but I had been really wanting these. They are super pretty under the dust jacket. I will try and show you. We have one that has a snake and a butterfly, and then Children of Fallen Gods has like some swords. They're just super cool. I don't really know what these are about, to be honest, but I've read a couple of things by this author and I've loved them all, so I just wanted to collect some more of their books. I then got Empire of the Damned by J. Kristoff. This was a signed edition from Forbidden Planet. There we go, there's the signature. So again, I think it was like 2 years ago, my best friend and I read Empire of the Vampire together as a buddy read, and we said we wanted to continue the series, and she had the second book. She's had it for quite a while and I just never got round to getting it, but I've now got it. And then I also got the third book, Empire of the Dawn, and this one is from Waterstones. It has the sprayed edge, so it's just plain black, and again this is a signed edition as well. My friend does need to collect this one because she doesn't have this one, and we were going to continue the series as a buddy read, but I think I do need to reread Empire of the Vampire before I get into these because I can't quite remember what was in it, but I just remember that I really liked it. Okay, so now we are going to move on to the rest of the haul. So I'm going to start off with the books that I got from YALC. I picked up Silver Elite by Danny Francis, and I didn't realise until I got home that this is actually a signed edition, which is really exciting. This is another book that I have just seen so much hype around, and I really have been trying not to fall for the hype when it comes to books, but this just sounded really good. I thought the cover was cool, and at YALC it was literally like £10 for a signed edition, so I couldn't not. Then I also found 2 books by Holly Renee. So we have A Kingdom of Blood and Betrayal and A Kingdom of Stars and Shadows. My best friend also picked these 2 up as well because we're adding it to our never-ending buddy read list. This is a fantasy romance series. I don't know how many books there are. I think they said there was 4, but they only had these 2, or there was 3 and they only had these 2 because one of them isn't out yet. So I will probably wait until the series is complete before I pick these up, but they have been ones that I've been looking at for a while because I've really loved the covers of them, and I've been really wanting to build up my fantasy collection because I have a lot of romance books, but fantasy and romancy is my favourite genre. So yeah, I just wanted to pick up some more romancy books. And then another trilogy I got at YALC is by Olivia Wildenstein. So we have House of Beating Wings, House of Pounding Hearts and House of Striking Oaths, and they all have like coloured sprayed edges. These are the Kingdom of Crows series. My friend didn't get these, but these are ones that I've been again eyeing up for so long, and I thought they were really cute with the sprayed edges, and I think they were 3 for £15 at YALC from the stall that I was on. So this series we have a female main character who is half human, so she is looked down on, and she has been in love with the royal Dante since she had her first kiss with him, but then as doubt seeps in on how a fae, prince and a halfling could ever be happy together, she finds hope in an oracle's prophecy. She will be queen, but first she must free the crows. So it sounds interesting. And then the final YALC book that I picked up was Lured by Eliza Lockhart. This was an independent author that had a stand with all of her books on. She has quite chunky series and she has a lot of different pen names, but this one is a dark vampire mafia series, and I was just sold from that. Like I said, I love vampires, mafia. I don't really read a ton of dark romance, but sometimes I'm just in the mood for it, so I wanted to give this indie author a go. Our female main character is a vampire hunter, and she has to go after the most powerful vampire in Vegas. It just sounds so cool. Then the rest are kind of ones that I have picked up since my birthday and it's just like in the works, supermarkets and things like that. So I found To Bleed a Crystal Bloom by Sarah A. Parker. This is just such a gorgeous book. I love the design under the dust jacket, and the character art as well is just absolutely gorgeous. The start of the chapters all have really gorgeous cover art as well. So I just thought I loved When the Moon Hatched, and this is the same author, so I assumed I was going to love this one too, so I grabbed the hardback. If you watched my Oxford vlog, you would have seen this one, but when I was there, I picked up A Fairy Tale by Veronica Lancet. This one I think is a dark romance where our female main character is orphaned and she has inherited the fairy dale. Well, I can't think whether it's like a house or something, but she's got to inherit this place, but unable to get this inheritance, she has to move there, and I think there's 2 guys and one of them is a ghost that she falls in love with. It just sounded really dark, really atmospheric. I love the cover and I think this is going to be a great spooky romance. I then have Brimstone by Callie Hart. I got the Waterstones edition, so it is signed. This is the sequel to Quicksilver, which I read back in January and was one of my favourite books of the year, and this was definitely one of my most anticipated releases. I haven't yet read it because I want to reread Quicksilver before I go into this one, but it has the really cool bronze, or gold, I'd say it's bronze, sprayed edges, and yeah, I won't talk too much about this one because I don't want to spoil anything from Quicksilver, but if you haven't read Quicksilver, do it. Okay, then I have 2 more that I picked up in the works. So we have Cash by Jessica Peterson. This is a small town cowboy romance. Our female main character needs an investment to keep her cowboy boot company afloat when she inherits her father's sprawling cattle ranch, and the catch is though that she has to live there for a year before she can get her inheritance. And I think our male main character either worked on the ranch or lived on the ranch with her father. And then I also found Woven by Gold by Elizabeth Helen. This is part of the, I can't think of the name of the series. The first one is Bonded by Thorns. I have the Fairy Loot edition of the first book, and I'm not gonna spend out and get the rest of them as the Fairy Loot editions, so they now have the first 2 in the works, so I picked up the second book. This is part of a Why Choose Beauty and the Beast retelling series. Okay, the next bundle are all books that I have found on Vinted. So I have Indigo Ridge by Devaney Perry. This is the first book in a small town romance series. So our female main character is the new police chief of this small town, and she has to win over the town's founding family, but she had a one-night stand with their oldest son. Then we have Truthfully Yours by Kaden Armstrong. The cover is what drew me to this one. This one, our female main character is in Scotland, which is thousands of miles away from home, after she publicly called out one of the actors on her favourite TV show for being ableist at a convention. So now she is working at an independent bookstore in Scotland, where the guy that I think she called out ends up being there as well, and they have to live together. Oh no, sorry, he's the co-star of the actor that she called out, and they have to live together at the bookshop. It just sounded really cute. Then I found Rein Me In by Kayla Gross. I have been wanting to try some books by this author. They all look really cute. I think she writes mostly plus size female main characters, which I love. And this is a small town cowboy romance. I think this starts off where the male main character is at an auction to raise money for the small town, and I think she wins the bid on him. I'm not sure, but I love the cover and I can't wait to dive into this. And then I found this series. It was an absolute bargain. This person was selling all 3 of these for £3, which I just thought was really cheap for a romantasy series. But we have Empire of Flame and Thorns, Throne of Ice and Blood, and Court of Lies and Deceit by Marion Blackwood. I have not read anything by this author, but I've heard really good things about their romantasies, and yeah, I've been really wanting to give this one a go, so I picked it up when I saw someone selling them cheap. This one we have Fae, and we have a Fae rebel and a ruthless dragon commander and a deadly trial that will turn their lives upside down. In TK Maxx, I found a Body Check by Elle Kennedy. This is a hockey romance. I love hockey romance and I love Elle Kennedy, and yeah, I grabbed this because it was literally £3.99 in TK Maxx to add to my Elle Kennedy collection. Then on to subscription boxes. I only have two because a Smut and Sip is currently delayed, and I did sell my Fairy Loot for December, so I have November's Fairy Loot, and that is To Cage a Wild Bird by Brooke Fast. This is really pretty. I don't think this is a book that I would have picked up typically, so I am interested to see whether it's one that I'm going to enjoy. But it says a deadly prison, a forbidden romance, and a fight for survival. And then I have one Smut and Sip book, which is Blood Oath by Morgan B. Lee. This is absolutely stunning, and this is a why choose a vampire romance. So I'm hoping I'm gonna absolutely love it because that is just everything that I love in a book. Then I was sent Needy Little Things by Chanel D. Samores from Bloomsbury as part of their Secret Santa. I think this is a YA mystery thriller where our female main character knows what people need before they need it themselves. And one night she supplies her friend's pepper spray after thinking that she needs it. But then I think someone goes missing and she tries to find out what happened. But I don't know, it sounds really cool, and it has like a blurb from Angie Thomas, and I've loved her books. And then I won a giveaway to win a copy of The Last Raven by Helen Glynn Jones. This was a giveaway by the Locked Library. This is such a super cool edition, and I've been really wanting to read this book. Anyway, this is another romantasy. This was the first book that they did for their romantasy subscription, and as it had been 1 year since they opened it, they were giving away a load of copies. So yeah, this is really cute. My foot has gone completely numb, or I'm sat on it, so we are going to end this here. But thank you so much for watching. I'm not too sure whether this is going to go up before the end of the year or whether it's the start of January, but whenever it goes up, I hope you had a great Christmas. If you celebrate, if you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope you've just had a wonderful December. And if this is the new year, I hope you had a great new year. And yeah, I will see you at some point. Like I said, don't know when this is going up, but I will see you soon with my next video.